Hello guys, and welcome to episode 21 of Culture Talks. And it is just Sean and I this week. I say just, but we've got a brilliant topic to talk to you about. We're really excited to chat about a Facebook group that we've created called Supporting Managers NI. It's something that we've had an idea for a long time. Initially, we thought it would be a face-to-face meetup, and in the future maybe it will be, but with everything going on, it's much easier to have it on an online platform, and I suppose it gives everybody from further afield a chance to engage with the members. So Sean, do you want to give a wee bit of a background of what the group is and the types of members, because obviously it should do what it says on the tin.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's something that we've been looking at for quite some time, and we did want this to be a sort of, I think the initial sort of thing that we were talking about was maybe a North Belfast managers meetup group. Yep. But lockdown kicked in, and obviously, like everything else, it went on hold. So what we're looking at then is obviously we can use online now. People are more likely to do that than they were beforehand. So I think it's a great opportunity to actually pull people together to support each other. Obviously, it's Supporting Managers NI, so we give that support because we've all been in scenarios. We've been in management for a firm at the time now. And we all come up against different scenarios at all times, or we kind of go, I wish I had someone else to ask an opinion for that, or to go and find out a bit more information, just ask some advice. And that's what we want to provide a platform for, basically, that people can go somewhere to gain support, but also to gain some knowledge. We want to post as much as we can, as much information as we can, either motivational or informational, information that we can put through to people to support them. We want to do one-to-one chats, which we're going to be offering ourselves. And at the minute, we're looking at 5 free one-to-one conversations, be it sort of coaching, mentoring, depending on what the needs are of the person we're talking to. We also want to do meetup groups so we can get everyone together and just have a chat. And it's going to be more of a casual thing, and more of a get to know you networking kind of side. And that is another opportunity to discuss different areas that people may be struggling with at that time, or different success stories that they want to share. And then, of course, we talked about Q&As. So we have a few people lined up for question and answer sessions for any questions that people may have. And then we wanted their own training as well, just to offer as much support and development in that way as well. And we'll probably focus that on personal development and workplace scenarios, and we'll take opinions from people on what's needed. And we've, of course, got some opinions on the sign up at the beginning as well, which we've been looking through. So yeah, we're really looking forward to putting this together and really just getting people talking.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you mentioned about supporting managers who are facing issues within the workplace that we have likely felt before, and in some cases maybe we haven't, but somebody else has, and it's about creating that community. For us, it's about creating a community of people, managers and leaders, and aspiring managers and leaders for that matter, who want to learn a little bit more about what it feels like, or you might be in a situation in an organization where maybe you're not happy as a manager, maybe you're feeling like you're against the grain constantly, and you're trying to push forward with your team, and maybe you're disruptive in that way, and you're maybe questioning whether your methods are working, or they're right in some cases. And I think that whenever you can be in a pool of people who know where you're coming from, know the types of responsibility that you have on your shoulders, and sometimes they've been there and done that. And I think that it's nice to be able to share your experiences, especially at the moment, especially with COVID going on. We were lucky enough to collaborate with Declan Barry and create that white paper document that we created about bringing your people back on board. And a lot of the things we discussed in that were the challenges that leaders will face. Leaders having to deal with the relationships between their teams, who are pretty highly stressed at the moment. There isn't a manager, I imagine, right now who isn't working with a team who 1 or 2 people are feeling a little anxious or feeling stressed in general. And as a manager, I think that we are pushed into that category of one size fits all. Like, you need to be able to have the answer for everything, when in fact you don't necessarily have to have all the answers. You just have to have the intention of wanting to have all the answers. And I think with this community, what we're trying to provide is a platform that if you're in a situation where you feel like that there's just one too many plates spinning, and you would just like that extra layer of support that you might not be getting from the organization, and it might not be their fault. It's just that we're all in the same boat at the moment. And that's what supporting managers NI, the group, is all about on Facebook. It's about creating that space, creating that community, making you feel that, if I've had a terrible day and the things aren't going the way you would like them to, or maybe you're just really stuck with an issue, that you can confidently go on that group and share how you're feeling in an environment that people just want to help you, whether it's because they've been there and done that, whether it's because they're going through it together already. And I think in many cases, especially with the types of conversations that we hope to bring forward in the next couple of weeks and months, I think we're going to find that a lot of people are in the same boat, the same anxieties, the same worries, the same pressure, and maybe you're having difficult conversations in work and you don't really know how to go about it. I guarantee you there's going to be somebody in there who has already done that, and maybe they've learned something from it and they can impart that wisdom on you. So it's an exciting thing for us because it's something we've wanted to do for so long, and we only launched it last Thursday, and we're already almost at 50 members, and the members who are on there already are engaging with each other, and we're making it very clear that we have high hopes for it. And Sean mentioned some of the training that we want to do, and I suppose it's a question whether if you're somebody who would like to join a community like that, or you would like to add value to that type of community, and it's definitely something that we advise you to take a look at. Tell us what you think, and just start adding value. And that's what it comes down to, because Sean and I are part of some nice close-knit groups of entrepreneurs and leaders and managers, and we've received a lot of support based on the challenges that we have faced, and we just want to be able to do that and provide that type of platform, because I don't think we can't get enough of that type of platform. It adds value to us as well. I think that's fair to say, Sean.
Oh, 100%. I think even just looking at I think about 50 members now, even just looking at the diverse range of people from different sectors and different amounts of experience is really good. And we can learn from everybody, even someone who's not experienced at this point still has an awful lot to offer. And it's like, we talk about building obviously cultures within organizations. I mean, we want to build a culture within this group. It is about bringing people together. You mentioned community a few times, and I think that's a key word there. It is about building a community, a supportive community. And in a working environment, we want to provide that sort of safety net. And there's a safety net in this. This is a place where people can open up, they can be honest. And of course, anybody who goes against that, we wouldn't want to be part of the group, because it's about bringing positivity and support to people. And the fact that we're doing it within, we specifically said supporting managers NI, because we're looking to create a community locally, and we're trying to keep it within a certain range, because we're all facing similar issues. And now, as you say, COVID has caused a lot of problems, and I think there's a lot more to come. I mean, obviously, the furlough scheme's coming to an end. That provides challenges in itself, and there's a lot of things that managers can't deal with. I mean, before, when COVID actually kicked in, when the lockdown kicked in, we had the unfortunate circumstance of pulling the team together and saying that basically we didn't know what was going to be happening, but basically we had to close the premises and there were no jobs at that point. And thankfully furlough kicked in, but we didn't know it was going to kick in at that point. And that was one of the worst periods of management I've ever faced. And we've faced difficult challenges in the past, but that was one of the most difficult. So I don't envy anybody that's going to be in a position to have to do that when this furlough scheme ends. So this group is about providing that support, that psychological support, and of course any tips or hints which are needed, which may just help you progress. And I really, really hope it's going to be important to people that they can utilize that as much as they can. Of course, we're talking about the personal development side, and we're going to bring that all in with it, but we just don't want to hit it too soon, because we want to get the people on board first, and then we're going to start into that. But we've lots to offer, and we're just really looking forward to giving as much value as we can to people, and as you say, receiving that back as well. Some of the interactions in the group already have been excellent. Just even talking about leadership courses and things like that, I think that's brilliant. And anything that anybody has to offer in terms of that, please stick it on there. We all want to hear it. There's some other, like we were saying about looking at different scenarios. People may not want to post something which is directly related to them on a post with their name on it. Yeah. So we're happy for anyone to contact us directly, private messages. And we'll put the scenario on that you want to maybe share with people in the group. And we guarantee you 100% confidentiality, anything that you share with us. We guarantee that we'll go no further than that. But we can put that scenario in the group and get some answers. And of course, we'll provide some feedback ourselves. And if anybody needs any sort of one-to-one support from us, just give us a shout. We're more than happy to help.
Yeah, no, I think it's important just to to highlight that moving forward, Sean, you said there that there are going to be more challenges, and unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever forget that time. I suppose that night where we had to speak to the team, and we're probably the most optimistic people going, even in the worst case scenarios and in environments that we have had to work in. You always want to be that sort of shining light of hope for everybody, and we had to just tell it like it was, and we didn't know. And not knowing is a really scary concept as a leader, because you're just taught, you learn that you have to know, whether you don't fully tangibly know what it is. You know the direction you're going in, and you know that you have the team that you need to bring along with you. And I think moving forward with the furlough schemes finishing up in the next month or two, and there's going to be really difficult circumstances for managers, and look, no one's overshadowing the fact that the employees themselves that will go through that time, it's going to be extremely hard for them, but it will be left up to the managers and leaders to, in most cases, just pass that news on and leave that with the employees. And that's a really stressful thing. And, I remember doing a video, and it was probably the hardest video I've ever put up on LinkedIn. And I nearly didn't do it because I thought this is too dreary, like, at the time, and but I wanted to also show the journey that we've been on, and it's important to share that with the community. But see the outpouring of support that I got as a result of me putting that video out, and it was from other entrepreneurs, other managers who have been there and done that, and who were also going through that at the time, and that really spurred me on. And look, we're lucky because we have each other in that sense, and we always have in terms of management, and we still have the management team that we oversee in the Odyssey and Bowl, and it's great to have a team like that, but many people don't. And sometimes you're a duty manager or you're a general manager of a site, and you don't have that layer of support. And I think it's important to have that layer of support, maybe even just simply.
It's sometimes good to get an outside perspective as well, even if you are within a good team. Sometimes it's good to go and ask a question somewhere else just to see what somebody else thinks, because when you're all in the same scenario, you kind of, in many ways, you start thinking the same way sometimes.
Team think is real.
Yeah, so sometimes it's nice to get that opinion outside as well.
Yeah, I think, look, I mean, when you're facing these types of things, you and like I said, there as a leader, especially if you're in an environment where the buck stops with you, for a lack of a better way of describing it, you do fall into that mentality of this is the best way to go. And I think sometimes having a wee soundboard where you have people who have more experience or similar experience or are going through the same things you are at the time, it's always really interesting to hear what they have to say, and that doesn't mean that you have to take their word for it, but it is always nice to hear those other opinions, as Sean says, and we're starting to see that already in the group. And maybe it's not as heavy a topic as COVID, and it's just learning and development, not just learning and development. It's very important, but the experiences, the friend of a friend story, and my friend's doing this, and there's a real energy whenever you get people together and you're talking about a certain topic. And for us, it's important that we facilitate that. And I think, if you're a leader at the moment and you're dealing with some really difficult situations, jump on the group. And as Sean says, we're going to be putting out some regular content, whether it's tips, hints, our own experience, and bringing in people who are experts in their field. And it's about personal development for you. It's about you and making sure that you're ready to be dealing with the situations that are coming ahead. And we're very passionate about that. Anyone who's ever met us will know that when we get behind something, we make sure that we're backing you to the hilt. And that's what we're trying to do here. For us,
that is one of the important things as well, just with the group too. Obviously we are going to be putting content out there just to keep things in motion, but at the same time, this isn't just us. This is about everyone else. So we really welcome anybody else's posts or information or support or motivational videos, whatever you may have that goes on there that really fits the ethos of the group. Get them on there. We want other people to start taking control of this as much as possible.
Yeah, no, it's look, we're excited about it, and it's something that we've decided to do a full Culture Talks episode. It won't be that long. We'll be finishing up soon, but you'll be maybe glad to hear or know. But for us, we're excited to create this community. We're excited we just know the power that comes from the community and the business community of NI, and we're very much part of that. And anyone who maybe doesn't believe it, join the group and see the impact it can have on you. Engage with the people who are there. And you know, one of the trends that are coming out from those who are coming through, they highlight that it's great that they've said it's great that we've done this because LinkedIn feels like such a big space sometimes. This is a closed group right now, it's 50 people. We may cap it at some point. You know, you want it to stay exclusive. You want it to stay. I mean, look, we're never going to turn anyone away, but we want it to be a dynamic where it doesn't lose itself on momentum in all different directions. We want it to be something for you, something that you see value in, that engages you, challenges you, and it really does paint the picture of personal development. And look, we're always going to be beating the drum of personal development because that's what we do. For us, it's trying to showcase what we can do also as well, and it's giving you an opportunity to showcase what you can do. You know, we've already seen a few people mention job opportunities or showing that they would like to learn more about job opportunities, and that's something we're going to look into as well. So if you're an employer and you would like a pool of people who are highly skilled, there's maybe an opportunity there, not yet, but the possibilities are endless. And we were just saying before we hit record that we don't know why we didn't do it sooner. And for us, it's something that we can see growing into a genuine community. And I keep saying community because I think that it's so important right now with everything going on to have that community and have that sense of belonging. And yes, it's virtual for now, but if it goes the way we believe it is going to go, and it looks like it's going already, this could very much, once things go back to normal, be a meetup on an annual basis or a biannual, maybe even a quarterly basis. And
I think at that point it becomes a bigger thing, doesn't it, when you can actually sort of get face to face with people. That sort of networking feeling, just getting to know people. And like one of the challenges for us within this, you said with the numbers there, you know, we want to know everybody in this group personally on some sort of level. So we do want to keep it within a certain sort of range. But we're going to be challenging ourselves to get speaking to everyone. We know we're not going to build in-depth relationships with everyone, but we want to get to know people. You know, we want it to be a personable group, and we want to encourage other people to do the same. And we're saying about trying to do the sort of we catch ups every now and again, and maybe probably 2 per month. We're sort of saying at the minute, but we're going to put dates out for them so everybody knows when they are. And we'll probably have to limit the numbers on that too, because we don't want it to go overboard where it becomes personal at that point. So we'll try and straddle it out as much as we can. And you know what, we don't have to be in all the groups either. That's the other thing. Someone else can put a group on if they want and encourage a few people into the chat, and you might find we jump in anyway. But look, it's about trying to be personable. It's about getting to know people and just being there for each other, really, because we'll all go through difficult points in the job roles that we have. And we call this supporting managers, and we always, like, everything we focus on as leaders, but everyone knows it as manager. It sends a clearer message, but it's about building them leadership qualities. And one of the things that we want to do throughout organizations is support and develop positive cultures. Like, it's one of the best ways that we can reach so many people and have everybody have their input into that and show all the positive things that does for their organization, to encourage other people to do the exact same thing for their company too. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be lots of positivity to come from it. So
yeah, well, that's us beaming about something that we're happy we're doing, and we're all, as I say, we're always wanting to share our journey, and that this is our way of doing it. This is our way of showing you that this is something we're really excited about. And when we get excited about something, we put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it. And that's what we're going to be doing moving forward with this group. Obviously, it's a Facebook group. It's free. There's no charges that come along with it. It's an environment where it's safe. Anytime somebody mentions something, Sean mentioned earlier on, if there's maybe a topic that is very personal, or maybe it's just sensitive in terms of the stakeholders that are involved, you can message us directly and completely confidentially. We wouldn't be passing anything on. We're very much about integrity, and whatever is in the group stays in the group, because otherwise it won't have the core values that we want it to. That's very important to us. Anyone that knows us, we are all about core values, and you can pass that on to us. You could say, look, I've got this issue, it's really sensitive, but I would like to hear some soundboarded ideas, and it's very interesting sometimes to hear what comes out of that. Look, we could ramble on, and I'm conscious that I don't want this to be too long, because it's very much just an informational sort of Culture Talks about what we're doing. You might be somebody who's been in groups like this before. There is no group that's ever been like this, I believe. I don't believe that the time and energy that we're going to put into this and make sure that we're developing you and providing that support for you just based on the fact that we care. Again, as I say, it's free, it's a group, join it. You're not wasting anything, but if you're going to join it, make sure you're going to get involved and you're actually going to add value to the other people in the group, because that's so important to us. We want people to give and take, and once we keep that sort of synergy going, you can see where great things can happen. And I believe that business will be done in it. I believe that proper connections will be built, and you never know, you might end up getting a new employer out of it. I don't know where your journey is. We're all on different journeys, and regardless of where you're at, I believe there's value that can be added to you as a manager or a leader, or aspiring manager or leader in this group. So I'll let Sean finish us off. If you'd like to learn more about it, reach out to us. If not, I'm sure we'll both put the link to the Facebook group, and there's a few wee questions you need to answer and agree to the rules, etc. But I hope you're all keeping well. We will pass more information as the weeks go on about this group, and take care, guys. We'll hope to see you in the group.
Just one last thing as well. Encourage everyone to add people into the group as well who you think may benefit from that, because that's important. So for now, as JP said, thank you for listening, and take care. Supporting Managers NI, we want you to engage, enable, and empower.
Take care, guys.